ऐसा लगता है ये जगह है ही नहीं, गायब हो जाओ तो किसी को पता भी नहीं चलेगा।
हमें पता चलेगा।
Grand Prix goes to All We Imagine as Life by Payal Kapadia.
And it's a pleasure and an honor. What you have done with this movie is, at Cannes and just at all the festival is just amazing. So congratulations on all the success thus far.
Thank you very much.
I watched the film. I was able to see the screener, and true to what people are saying, you really feel like you're a part of the movie. I didn't feel like I was watching something. I feel like I was there. Just talk to me about the whole process. I mean, it's amazing how you've just put this whole piece together.
For me, I live in Mumbai, so it's easy to do a lot of research here. And me with my cinematographer, we spent a lot of time shooting the city as we were writing the script. So while I was writing the script 2-3 years ago, we would just roam around in the monsoon time, just shooting, taking photos, just kind of observing life. Not with the intention that it's going to be in the film, but just to kind of see what does Bombay look like to us. And that exercise, I think, really helped and paid off. That's why one of the things we did was we stayed away from having any kind of space that is very iconic of Mumbai, like any monument or any major location. I felt that one of the things that is most iconic to Mumbai is actually the trains. Because if you are from here, one of the things that you can't help is that you spend a lot of times inside the trains. It takes like 1 hour to get anywhere, and so I wanted to kind of have trains as a lead motif throughout the film. And I think maybe people connected to that, like that it feels real.
Throughout the movie, it felt like that. I recently, about 2 years ago, spent 2 months in Mumbai. And what you've shown and the way I've seen Mumbai, like the hustle, the bustle, the stores, you've captured exactly how someone from an outsider, would have kind of seen and been in awe about. So you did an amazing job. Talk about this, just the journey of the film and the story. How did that come about?
There are many reasons I wanted to make a film about generational friendship between women. I think it also comes from the fact that I come from a family with a lot of women of different generations, and somehow I feel that we've all let each other down at some point or the other. And you just feel like, even for yourself, like for myself, I have also been the same for suppose a younger woman in my life. And somehow that has always been something that I've struggled with. That where does this come from? And kind of a internalized misogyny that we all have, and makes us sometimes react in ways that we sometimes feel like, ugh, why did I respond like this? Where did it come from? And in our media, at least in India, a lot of the shows, a lot of the kind of soap operas are always like women fighting with women and hating each other, and it's really terrible. And that's not really true. Like, it's just the way the world is designed to make us feel this way. And that makes me very angry, and that's kind of what I want to make a film about.
Now talk to me about casting. How did you choose your characters?
Casting took a really long time because I come from non-fiction filmmaking, and one of the stupid ideas I had in the beginning was that I am going to cast real people. So I spent like 1 year meeting different nurses, different women like Parvati, and then I realized my privilege is that they told me that, look, all this, you want to make a film and all is fine, but are you going to give us a job after we finish shooting a film? Because I'm going to lose my job, coming to hang out with you for all these months. And I was like, oops. I'm really, being very insensitive to what their lives really are like. So then I decided that, okay, I really need to kind of look for actors. And all these 3 actors have played roles in ways that I have found extremely convincing in cinema. They've all, Kani and Divya, belong to the Malayalam film industry, and they've done amazing work. And I immediately thought about them when I started thinking that I want to cast actors. And Chhaya, as you know, is having the year of her life, and she's amazing. She's like She's a legend. I had seen her in Fandry many years ago when I was still a student, and in that film also, like her role was really stayed with me. How she portrayed, this character. So I approached her in the fear that she will reject me, but she was super nice, and we had lunch together one day. And she said, I'm also from the same region that this character is from, Parvati. So and she told me like she knows a lot of people like that who've moved from Ratnagiri to Mumbai, who've had to lose their houses. So I felt, really understood the pathos that this character was also feeling. So it was only a natural kind of, it was very, very much yes from my side. I was just hoping that she would say yes too, and she did.
Mumbai, it's like, it reminds me of New York. I feel like people in New York are not really from New York. They're from everywhere else. And I feel like that's kind of what you also shown in the movie for Mumbai itself.
Absolutely. I came to New York for the first time a few weeks ago. And I felt immediately like it reminded me of Mumbai. There was a kind of, I heard so many languages and so many different kinds of people. And there was something about it that big cities have. And I also kind of met some very old friends who I hadn't met in many, many years. And they introduced me to their new friends who are like their family now in New York. And that was touching and kind of like about the film also. So it was just nice to see. And Mumbai is like that as well.
Payal, you have a great eye. Whoever has shot the film for you, just the little nuances that were captured. How did you conceptualize that? Like this is how I want the look to be.
Like I said, when we were doing the script, me and the cinematographer, we were traveling around Mumbai a lot and shooting it in the monsoon. And we started to notice that certain colors were very sort of very particular to Mumbai in the monsoon, like the blue. The blue color becomes very predominant in the monsoon because the city gets covered in a blue plastic, what we call it tarpaulin, and this is a very bright kind of blue. If you see the roofs of all the slum area, it gets completely covered in blue, but you also see that really swanky buildings, all their balconies are covered also in the same blue. So I found that interesting, this blue and the monsoon. So we talked a lot about that. But another thing that we discussed very much along with the production designers, who were two young women from the same film school that I went to, and one more gentleman was with them. So there was that, and we discussed a lot about how we would like to frame the film, how there would be cloths and flowy materials almost in every shot, so that it never feels rigid. It always feels as if it's part of a flow.
Now coming to the title, All We Imagine as Light, how did you come up with this title?
The title I borrowed from my mother's painting. She's an artist and she had made this painting, and I just really liked the title, and she has a great way with words. So I asked her if it's all right that I would also like to use it, and she was kind enough to let me. And I felt that the title went very well with the kind of themes in the film, because the themes are about not kind of seeing a way out when you're so conditioned morally to behave in a certain way that you don't think that another way is possible. So that's what the title alludes to, like hope and imagination. The two words that hope is like light, and to imagine it when you're so conditioned to not.
Talk to me about some challenges you faced.
Lot of challenges. Shooting in Mumbai is a big challenge. It's a very difficult city to shoot in, even though it is a cinema city. It's a city with the most film industry, like a very big film industry is here. And a lot of the advertisements get shot here. So it's really expensive to get permissions for locations, to be able to shoot in trains. So a lot of the challenges came from that. And I was very keen that we don't recreate spaces in a studio, because I really didn't feel it would look authentic, So a lot of the work involved finding locations that were affordable, or to kind of shoot in a guerrilla style, that you just hide somewhere and shoot like in the trains and things like this. So all those were really difficult things to maneuver, and we But fortunately, we had really good people working on our team, and they found locations that were shooting friendly, but still very, very real.
Yeah, it does. You feel like a part of it. It feels very real. What do you hope one thing the audience takes away from this film?
Film is about acceptance. It's about accepting somebody who is maybe has a different point of view than us, has lived a different kind of life, but to have some kind of empathy towards that as well, so that we can be, not say that if you don't agree then you just never talk to each other, but kind of come to some kind of understanding. And in a world which is so deeply divided right now, I really feel that understanding that those who we feel we don't always agree with could be a way to move forward.
Now talk to me about Cannes, the whole experience, just everything about it.
Really like a dream. I finished. I'm like the person who will try to work to the very last minute that I can before literally my producers snatch the film away and say now it's enough. So I was working on the film till Friday, and the Monday after that Friday was when I had to go to Cannes. So I finished the DCP on Friday, and like a hotly baked cake, it had to be sent to Cannes. And then we went to the festival in a complete daze, because when you're doing post-production, you're stuck inside a studio for many, many days. You cannot imagine light. And so then we just landed up on this red carpet after 4 months of wearing just pajamas and track pants. We were like super nicely dressed and in this completely other world. So we had to pinch ourselves to say, okay, this is big, and we really didn't expect it. So
talk to me about the moment when you found out that you had won.
Well, one of the things that I knew was that the reason I had won was because of so many people, especially the actresses, that they had been true collaborators on this journey. And I knew that if I did win a prize and I had to go on stage, I would take them definitely with me. So fortunately, I could do that, and they didn't stop me. And I would have had my whole crew there if I could, but because it really takes a village to make a film. It's a lot of people contribute. You just see the director there or the producer, but actually it's really like many people's many days and hours have gone into filmmaking. So it's just I was very happy that they were in the audience that day and that the actresses could be with me. So I didn't feel like that nervous. I felt happy that I was in the company of those I loved.
Did you have to pinch yourself? Like, oh my God, we just won.
Of course, that was the general vibe of the all 3 days. So too much pinching was going on. But at this point, it was more just the happiness of sharing this with the people who have helped me get there.
I mean, I think it's amazing. You put India on the map, and as a female doing it, it's, kudos to you. It's a double win.
Thank you.
What is in store next for you?
I'm working on my next project, which is also a love story based in Mumbai. And it's going to have something about the history of Mumbai also in it, because as a city that's not that old, it's a colonial city. It's a city that wasn't a city not so long ago. So the history is also kind of floaty and short. So I'm curious now to excavate into the past, but continue with my themes of love and romance.
Well, congratulations again for this movie, and just immense amount of luck and good wishes for everything else that you're doing.
Thank you.
It's really, as a South Asian growing up here in America, it's great to see, our people doing such amazing work.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you again and again. Best of luck with everything.
Thank you. Bye.